We're back again, and oh boy, does it get fun. So, the rumors are swirling. The spice is real. Diamond and alliances, bloated up with WotC. Fun fact, there's a bit of a problem here. If you read those articles very, very carefully, so like if you actually read them, that's the first part you gotta do, right? You'll realize that everything in there is about Diamond not having a contract anymore, and that's why the deal blew up. Now we get interesting. According to someone who doesn't exist, totally not an alliance rep that I have absolutely zero contact with, hypothetically existed and sent me this fake news report that their contract is in fact in place. Interesting. So what do we have here now? Well, Diamond is wrecked. I think that's pretty safe to assume. I personally never ordered anything through them. I don't collect comics outside of the 1, 2, 3 that I own, all of which happen to be signed comics graded in, are they all 9.8s? They are all 9.8s. So I have 3 signed comics all in 9.8 from the same artist. Go figure. Anyway, I have a problem, don't I? So, fun fact, according to our rep who doesn't exist, who may or may not be a real person, who may or may not have sent me an anonymous email, Alliances still has a contract with Wizards, which means all the shenanigans going around are, in fact, misread articles, so it's fake news! What a surprise. Anyway, guys, read the articles, actually. So I'm going to link them down on the bottom of the video description for, I think there's 2 of them that most people have been reading. Oh, I sneeze, don't sneeze, don't sneeze. Oh, hold the sneeze. Oh, that's horrible. There's 2 of them that everyone has been referencing, right? I went and read them today. I read them again and was like, oh, okay. The guy that wrote those articles, mad scientist of word fuckery. Like, actually mad scientist. Did you see that? I waited till 2 minutes to drop the F-bomb because that's how the algorithms works. So, actual mad scientist, like, brain messery here, right? So the way it's written, it reads like both of them have lost their contracts with WotC. It's actually just Diamond. Diamond is the one that's lost the contract. There's not a single point in time throughout the entire article where that person is like, Alliances has lost their contract as of X date. Every single time it's talked about, it's just in the presence and past tense of Diamond's contract. Now, why is this important? Because reading these things carefully is very important. It's how you it's how you don't do knee-jerk reactions, right? Obviously, there is some pretty serious shenanigans going on. And in fact, there is no contract that is set in stone. WotC does these on a yearly, quarterly, semi-annual basis. So it's very possible that after this is all blown up and shot to hell, maybe the other 3 distros are the only 3 that will be stocking product, and WotC's going to be like, Alliances, you kind of screwed up, and we're gonna kind of end it after this point in time. But I'm still going to be getting Final Fantasy through them, which means they still have a contract, because that's after April. Yeah, so we'll see how that rolls out. But fun times, right? So the title of this video is going to be absolutely hilarious. I'm going to do like Alliance fake news contract WotC. I don't know. Like, what's a good click word? We're going to theory craft a title in here while I'm in the video. I like this. Let's see. Maybe, oh man. Alliances doesn't botch contract. Fake news. No, I don't like that. That's not good either. Ooh, fake news. Because we gotta have the fake news in there, right? Like, it's too good to not have it. Like, it's a free clickbait. Like, fake news? What? Let's do, like, fake news. Alliances contract intact ? Ooh, there we go. I like that. I like that. We'll go with that. I'm gonna do a quick little writing down here. I'm gonna do it into a web browser too, because I don't actually have a notepad open. So let's see. Fake news Alliances contract with WotC intact. Should I misspell intact in the title too? That might be funny. No, I'll just leave. I'm not going to typo. So anyway, now we have the title established of the video here for what this is. This is a very valuable lesson, right? In this market, because again, everything is excessively volatile and everything is like, oh my God, we have another instance where a couple of articles have been posted, and it's probably one of those like, oh, I read your article, so I wrote my article moment. I'm not going to go into politics here with this because I don't want this to be a political channel. However, this is why it's super important when you read something from one source, you need to read it from another and at least a third to attempt to get some kind of semblance of idea. And it's important when you read all three of those articles to get an understanding of what is being said specifically, how, why, and where. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I can very easily see WotC saying, hey, so the deal with Diamond blew up. We're good, dude. We don't need you after this year. And I could totally see alliances in 3 to 6 months also potentially losing that contract with WotC. It is not a right. It is a earned/purchased thing, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's 3 or more distributors, so you can't go like, conglomerate, price control, shenanigans, blah, 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 blah. So it's split between the market, so there's no antitrust laws here. WotC has absolute total control to be like, F you alliances, go pound sand. I do not think they will, because again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. My rep that doesn't exist says they still have a contract, and that is very much incorrect. We'll see who is wrong in 6 months. The rep that I know that doesn't exist, who definitely didn't email me anything, who definitely doesn't exist, or the general public in 6 months. However, let's keep in mind, this is now a lawsuit between 2 giant companies. This is not going to be a slow thing. It's going to be excessively slow. It might be a year or more until this is resolved. It could be years. These litigations over millions of dollars are very long, they're very painful, and they're very slow. Based off of the initial damage control that was attempted from Diamond, it sounds like this has already been a tactic for them for months now, probably the better part of half a year, if not longer. That's not a good sign. So I don't see, if they're playing the stall tactic games before they've closed, now there's a big bomb in the middle of it, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't continue playing the game of hide the football, I guess is what they're doing. So, long story short, I will link the article below, or articles. There was like 2 that I read that I actually found that were like decent. Everyone else kind of seemed... However, if you read them, you will realize the same thing that I did after I read it the second time. It's very cleverly wordsmithed to sound like it's talking about both, but the reality is it's only actually talking about Diamond. And this is a very valuable lesson of being careful what you read. It doesn't necessarily always mean what you're looking at. Now, I'm not guaranteeing anything here. There's nothing to be seen or heard here. However, it is very possible that this could change in 6 months. However, as of today, my rep that doesn't exist says it's a thing. It's not a thing. WotC's here. Interesting. So, my orders are apparently intact, which is wonderful. As an update on Final Fantasy, I'm expecting to get absolutely dog shit. I will have plays, maybe decks if I'm lucky. We'll see. But I should have some plays. So, I don't know, guys. If you need play boxes shipped, reach out to me. I'll see what I can do on pricing when I actually get the boxes. I'm not going to guarantee like a dumbass discount, but like if you want a case, I don't know, add $8 to my cost, and if I can get them, I will attempt to get you a case. I will make 0 promises on this. Email me if that's how I know you're watching these. So if you actually email me asking about this, I will attempt to get you cases $8 over cost. That will cover my shipping, and I make like, I don't know, probably 20 bucks on the whole thing. I don't give a shit. I will see what we can do. I'll probably limit it to 1 case because I don't think I'm going to get that much, honest. I don't think I'm going to get that much. And it's a first come, first serve. So if you're listening and you email me, congrats, I'm going off timestamps. I'm going to do the same thing basically for high seas. I'm going to prioritize people who've ordered with me prior. If you ask afterwards, I will try and get everyone what I can. These releases in general right now for the next 60 days are bricked. Like, they're just bricked. And the funny thing is as Pokemon starts to turn down, Magic is going to do this, because we're going to go from Final Fantasy into the first Marvel set. And it's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is one of the largest IPs for Marvel. It's huge. Sony quite literally held it in a death grip for years until they eventually relinquished the IP to the Marvel overlords. So be careful, because there's going to be plenty of buying opportunities. There's probably some panic sales with the Alliance's Diamond shenanigans snafu news that hit. There is probably going to be some wonderful, wonderful sales that are going to start occurring in Pokemon as these reprints get slammed. I warned last week, these reprints don't matter yet. That is very important. They don't matter yet. When the next reprint hits, and again, we've seen this in the last bull run when this happened, because once prices get too excessive, the Pokemon Company just goes, printer machine go, brrr! It doesn't matter in the long term for Pokemon. They will print the shit out of whatever they need to while it's in the print cycle run, and they do not care. 151 is on the block. Prismatic Evolutions is on the block. Journey Together is on the block. Destined Rivals is on the block. Like, these things will be reprinted. Do not freak out, panic, and buy a whole bunch at once. Do what I'm doing. Pick up a case here. Pick up a case there. There's a TCG player sale. I'll probably try and pick up a case or two of crap. I'm going to specifically be looking at 151 and Journey Together, because if I can pick up a case or two of Journey Together for close to MSRP after I get all my 10% discount, my credit card fees, and I get everything else back, I will probably pick up a case or two. And this also depends on my high seas allocations, obviously. Like, if I do get all 1,600 boxes, which I would be ecstatic about, oh my God, I'd be so happy. I will probably not be buying anything on that sale. I should know this week or early next week before the sale hits. We're now officially 30 or 31 days away from the high seas release. When that hits, I will be able to make my plays and my calculations. And when it does land, if I do end up committing to the TCG player sale, I will let you guys know in advance exactly what I'm purchasing. I will show it in a mail day video reveal, because it'll probably be a pretty decent pile of stuff. And it may not. It may only be some singles and a couple of boxes of 151. I don't know what I'm going to end up getting. So it kind of just depends on the high seas allocation. But yeah, a valuable, valuable lesson, guys. Read carefully between the lines. Actually, this is even between the lines. It's like just straight up there. Read when someone writes something very carefully, because they are motivated always to get you to click on things. Just like the title of this video with the fake news and the contract and WotC and blah, blah, blah. I'm specifically titling this video to be clicked. I want it to be clicked. I'm going to have my wife put like a giant fake news headline in the middle of the freaking thumbnail, just because it'll be funny. And I've also seeded in the middle of this conversation to people that are just jumping to the very end, a fun little pick-me-up sale that'll be in the middle of this. Now, this is a great example of start to finish, finishing something. I timed out these videos very specifically for this. We'll see who actually is listening to the entire video. Don't comment about what I'm doing roughly some time ago in this particular video. See how I'm like weaving the shenanigans, the weaving. Just do regular comments. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Just email me if you want it. Let me know. Anyway, guys, bye.